Chia Sonko and Confama eti4 enyina nimdie news eno na wasugu so awuti sabre yebebo era ensem no emu
Uncle Kwesi Kwame constituent when is that?
Ampo.
Yes, Mampong.
Sir, Bush House view.
Yes. Only a code. And in fact, one of the things that work happen for new weather.
You,
on more after 5 p.m. 6 months and go for share pullovers, na jackets near the. Kwame was officially a winter season or so.
Yo.
Kwame, remember the issue of the day. I that pronounce U.S. Ghana deportations and matters arising. I'll completely disagree with my colleague member of parliament. Say, who say we any critical issue. Na you focus on other matters. It borders on constitutionality. Na Oko Article 75 of your constitution. And Ghana is a country of laws. You're the Mrani Buo Minor. Article 75 of the Constitution, it provides that every treaty, agreement, convention, may repeat it, every treaty, agreement or convention executed by or under the authority of the President must be laid before Parliament for ratification, especially when delay with even foreign countries. Because under every agreement, it will place some obligations Ghana so. Now, sir, the thinking of Inya Vondi, and you know, because
but maybe, Sammy, this very same place are okay. May kind the same thing. 75 are also one. The president may execute or cause to be executed treaties, agreements, or conventions in the name of Ghana. 2. A treaty, agreement, or convention executed by or under the authority of the president shall be subject to ratification by A, act of parliament, or B, a resolution of parliament, supported by the votes of more than 1/2 of all the members of parliament.
That's right.
Ratification will be there.
I mean, okay, said parliament cannot be excluded from the process.
David.
And number 2, because all now the representatives of the people. In fact, in 2016, the case of Banfo versus Attorney General, that famous case of Gitmo 2, Senator Ekan. The thinking of the then principal legal advisor to government, Satan has no could not court my by Attorney General. I am
not a deputy Attorney General,
but no court on that matter. The Supreme Court, in its decision, said that the Supreme Court flatly rejected these arguments of the Attorney General, holding that the Constitution makes no sense. The Attorney General was asking for a distinction to be made between agreement in placing obligation on the state and after be a true diplomatic note. But the Supreme Court in the Margaret Banfo versus Attorney General said they flatly rejected the argument, holding that the Constitution makes no such formal distinction. Once it's an agreement being executed under the authority of the president between Ghana and my Fofrosono. Specifically, the court held that whereby various forms of documentation, the court held the government of Ghana binds the republic to certain obligations in relation to another country or group of countries, an international agreement comes into existence. Particularly, the Supreme Court in this decision, once there will be some obligations placed on the people of Ghana. And Kofa your mobile. Kwame, on the security beshayansa, anameboa. There will be financial implications because anya security for me bomb ho ban, nyombedi, any baby on betina, any adeno. The people of Ghana must support their existence here. The same way, in the Buja Jemfi versus Attorney General. A man buying any US buying a person is US based in Ghana. The Supreme Court still held a parliament for ratification. Now, it has become much more pronounced, says about Parliament, and I'll give you this analysis.
Answer my analysis, no, that's a buying cars on from Parliament. Anna,
what's your foreign minister? Wadaroma. Or say he didn't get the impression. Say, nay, idea a Parliament because he was under the thinking that it was an MOU.
Yeah, okay.
Now, the Supreme Court in its ruling in the Banfor versus the Attorney General, in Buja Jemfi versus the Attorney General, it makes it clear. So once it's an international agreement, be it documentations, and whatever form of agreement, every place responsibilities on the states and the people of Ghana, except Parliament. In any case, and this will over almost super majority of Parliament. So bringing it to Parliament should not be a problem. But with the demo, I'm a representative of a group of people. Vondi are representing in Crawford. Tioko constituency. Now Obi Busau. Anything in relation to that agreement, they can speak to because about Parliament, whether you're a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee or not, you're bringing the document for all of us to read through and contribute to it towards the debate on the floor. Kwame, interestingly, my man found in Kakra. I see here America, your immigration policy, or more setup. It's been there since God knows. Papa Trump buy, and no there. Wasabe Shemukena. No time buy. Yeah, he existed. But by how he is using it, and I'm on about across in some instances global outreach. In 2019. America tried deporting 500 Ghanaians in 2019. Suspected to be Ghanaians. I'm saying national, suspected to be Ghanaians. The then government under President Akufo-Addo asked for proof. Say, you better don't say where you Ghana this year. Yeah. And so see you bring your proof, no? You Gioma.
Okay.
Obekaya Benya visa and sensem. Yeah. Economia said the Americans couldn't prove that these 500 were our nationals. Fast forward. Now there are reports of 2,000 supposed nationals. Any America say?
Yeah, almost over 2,000.
Over 2,000.
How many Ghana for?
America buying said we deport you Maba.
Yeah.
2,000. That is not enough. Oko ICE website, me checking and pay. America buying ICE website. They are targeting 80,000 Ghanaians. Almost are suspects almost illegally. It's the moment Ghana will be all doors to this arrangement of farmer Parliament for us to know near a room. I mean, you bet me a try Abua Bino. Now you started by opening up and saying the Minister for Foreign Affairs, in fact, on City. On Channel 1. On Benadavle. Or say, we didn't give anything and we didn't receive anything from the Americans in this deal. Okay. Oko TV3, he said that you're not a big one call Ongai. Now, you are lifting the visa restrictions. Yeah. And then further interrogation, he says we needed to also agree to some terms. One, no, the visa there, no more lefty. Two, agua. And three, the tariff issue. So clearly, that and also any the comment now, any response, I know I'm not earlier, no, abebra. Mediano eba down so. The Honorable Foreign Minister told us at a point. Say Ghana will accept people of West African descent in the name of Pan-Africanism. People of West African descent in the name of Pan-Africanism. You don't say, oh my dear, Mufi America. America buying only in Krata ye, Omufi Mali, Omufi Burkina, Omufi Nigeria. Now, Prime Minister said now in the name and in the spirit of Pan-Africanism, ye deported. Then comes in this El Salvadorian guy. Now America 4% deported or not so bad account. That then runs contrary to what the Foreign Minister had also said. So now a foreign West African national spend El Salvador, any West Africa. The Foreign Ministry now rise back to the Americans who say, oh no, but is it not strange? Say treaty, deal MOU, whatever agreement any Americans sign here, if they know say El Salvadorian and West African, I don't know come there no ba. Because as it stands now, whatever is in that agreement, we as a member of parliament, my colleague, you don't know. Me as a member of parliament, I don't know. Colleagues, members of parliament, they don't know. It is said, even Krabba a buying, Sanabaya, what the bar, no money, but it's Macas, wait there, wait there. And Chairman, the other interesting thing too is that, you see, it is not just out of convenience and at the framers of our constitution. On say, Adi Biara, Mampeni, or be cause it to be done under his authority, a be binding or minor. As he in Nayabwana Parliament, if you show me is that Mampeni Baba Diako, the state of Ghana will remain. You know what the content of that agreement next year? How do we advise and even checkmate government? Because on the woman, this is say what West African nationals. The next one, I'm saying the 2,000, which you have heard. Now, what on the website and now, I'm saying 80,000 to they are targeting them to deport them. If you don't take care, you are going to have a situation where that gesture, that to you, was a good old gesture. Only America bank because we don't know the content of it, we are going to open the floodgate. The reason why the other West African nationals are not accepting this arrangement is that they think say there's normally no proof. Obi Nigerian, obetime the chike edu. I'm giving you an example. Be Nigerian. Osansu kredu e Ghana ni. If nipa no de na ba, ono be tro baby am pesemiko. You have several of these options. I just think that government should not open itself up to this floodgate because if you don't take care, you do kakrabi befem ujitum, you the 2,000 befem odiatum. Now they are targeting 80,000, and you're going to open.
They are Ghanaians, right?
No,
almost say suspected Ghanaians.
Okay, 80,000 to suspected Ghanaians. It's one share. You are going to open that floodgate. That is why the Supreme Court was very clear in the decision in the case of Margaret Banfo Nana B versus the Attorney General, in the case of Boja Jenfi versus the Attorney General. So whatever agreement are binding enter to with a foreign nation, the important said the people of Ghana gets full information through its elected representatives and the members of parliament. TNK Bishop say what about parliament? I'm on a parliament on Emodia. You don't want to tell media. But what the bar, yes, so you may bet Anya school be kakra. You bet me a kind, you bet me a promptia by and say, well, dear, my way, mode, and once and baba. When you're going to open yourself up, then we can tighten whatever agreement it is. Because it beats my imagination. Said the foreign minister will tell us, West African nationals in the name of Pan-Africanism. Then the next time they are bringing El Salvador national. You think the Americans they cannot read it, right?
But on the Abogo.
And let me say, isn't it strange? Say, oh, Chairman General, me never go into agreement. Say, Chairman, what you want to say in your fool on me?
What is the example of that episode? Once I am a question practice.
Me no agree. Me this way. Now we did this way in the buy and Chairman, me another cup. That's how the coffee at was. Who soon himself? Me no one can coffee as It is important say you money woman. Let me aboa as a country because Ghana no they say obeye odiako but the state the name Ghana no still a becker. So that is why the minority believes that there's too much controversy around it. It started by saying we didn't give anything, we didn't receive anything. Then we moved from that to we had to give off some things for us to get the visa restrictions lifted, to get AGOA back, and to get the tariffs thing reviewed. So meaning that now we give something to receive that. Then the third matter is that it's only West Africans we are accepting. Now we move from there, Yakofa El Salvador, and then Aban says no, and they won't choke it. Then now they are telling you they have 80,000 people that they are earmarking. So much chioma. Because it's an ongoing process. Chioma. Chairman, Onipanobia Oko and Wako Uganda ni. Okwa kwentu no wakwa koshia obi o Jamaica ni and me no fear no e Ghana ni but then they are now in Katasem no onye no longer your national And that is why we need to know the details. Like I said, who then now qualifies to be a Ghanaian? Who deport anyone? Na yen yet me aka say ye gene wholesale. Na aboy yen. It is not for a personal interest, but collectively. Because get move way by. Sir, Emma, we spoke about it. We spoke against it. When they wanted to build a U.S. Army Command Center here, had to challenge the constitutionality of Yemenibi without going to Parliament. Until let's be consistent with our principles.
Maybe some question I didn't share, but before that, Dr. Edu says, Chairman General, what the U.S. is doing by bringing deportees to Ghana and other African countries, can we do same by sending deportees to the USA? If it is not possible, then it's reprehensible. Dr. Edu, we cannot, we dare not. By the way, Francis Blaze says we're watching you live from the Volta region in Keta. Yes, Francis, good morning to you. And then Aaron says, I wish politicians to be consistent in their discourse transitioning from power to opposition. They talk and defend nicely when in power, but different in opposition. That's Aaron. And then Nana Mwako says, I greet you all from Bahrain. Hey, Bahrain, pa. Greetings to my wife and family in Kwamang Ahinkro, Bahrain. Okay. Isaac Boy says, greetings from Newark, New Jersey. And then greetings to Supremo Samuel Uku from Mamprobi. Okay, that's JC Wako. Mamprobi, right? We read you loud and clear. Peace 104.3. Kokoko Jumediana na to us on this conversation about deportations and ratification and the Supreme Court ruled that the Gitmo II agreement was unconstitutional and ordered it to be sent to Parliament for ratification, which was duly done sometime in August 2017 or so. Consequently, the execution of the recent Ghana-US agreement on deportees is unconstitutional and will remain so until ratified by Parliament. Ordinarily, it should have gone to Parliament for ratification prior to execution of the agreement before the arrival of the deportees. Okay, the country is El Salvador and the citizen is Salvadorian. I'm making this input because people often get it mixed up. Justice Abeku Nichin of Faith, thank you very much. So the country is El Salvador, the citizen is Salvadorian.